Alrighty, this is my review for Rental Family. I like this movie a lot. This movie was great. This movie was great. It was so great, man. I can't even believe it. I mean, I can. The movie is the feeling that you get from the trailer is the feeling you get from the movie. And if you like the trailer, I would recommend go see it. I would actually watch this movie again. I liked how it showed a lot of sides of life that people don't normally show in movies. And also, it's funny because people could see a movie like Rental Family and say, why do people do things like this? Why? But then the answer is very simple. It's about experiences. Everyone likes different experiences. Someone might go to Six Flags and say, that was the best experience of my life. And then someone might go to K-Pot and have like the best Korean barbecue and say, oh my God, that was amazing. And the bill is pretty much the same for like 4 people, whatever, I don't know. I guess depending on how much food you eat, I guess. But you get what I'm trying to say. It's just about experiences. And people always want to know, why do people do things? And it's about the experience. I strongly believe that. And like, for example, one of the characters, I'm not spoiling anything, I'm just saying that one of the characters, who works for the Rental Family, he has a, let's say, lady of the night. And he's talking to her and she's like, oh, what you do is similar to what I do. You help people emotionally, I help people physically. And that's literally what it is. Like, some people do certain things and people want to know why. They're like, why? Like, even like something like that. Someone could look at that character in the film and be like, why is he doing that? Why does he go and get a real lady, get a wife or whatever? But for him, that person in the movie, he went to her for an experience. And then now he and his job, he's giving people an experience as well, but very different to her. And it's interesting because she said something along the lines of, yours is a little bit more personal, which I thought was pretty funny because it's like, you could kind of argue whose job is more personal. You know what I mean? Like, she's pretty personal, but he is like so emotional and so personal. So it's a little bit different. Like she said, he's helping people emotionally. She's helping people physically. So I like that idea. I like that they put that in the film because it was the perfect character to have that back and forth with. And then through the film, I'm just gonna be quiet. All I'm gonna say is through the film, I like that they touch on that. And one thing I was not expecting was, I didn't expect what they were gonna do with the actual company. Like, the company itself for the Rental Family, like, I didn't expect where it was gonna go. Like, I thought like the movie went up in a direction I did not expect it to go. I thought they were gonna play more of it. I don't know why I thought it was gonna play like safe, but not really safe. Like, I just thought, I don't know. I like the direction it took, and I like how real these characters felt. And they kind of ask the questions that you're watching in the movie, like, that you want to ask. You know what I mean? And I like how at the end it's not just, if you see the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But I like how in the end it's not just over, is what I would say. There's a shift in the way they do things, is what I would say. And one thing I will say is this: the girl who plays the daughter, she's good. She's good. I think that she is like the light of the movie. I really do, because there's other characters who are light of the movie as well. But there's like there's an old man in this film who's really, really charming, and his story is really sweet and sad at the same time. But this little girl who wants a father, it's like, it's actually heartbreaking, but it's it's true. It's like stuff like that happens. Some people want someone in their life and they're just not there. You know what I mean? And I would say I like the conclusion to that story, is what I would say. I like the conclusion of it. I'm glad they tied up every person that was interacted with this company. I like the way the interactions ended, and I'm glad it was like tied up pretty much with a bow for pretty much all of them, or in a satisfying conclusion. And I feel like when it started, I was like, it's so hard not to spoil this movie. There's a lot I want to talk about that. Maybe I'll do a spoiler review. I probably won't, but I just feel like you're gonna enjoy this movie because it's not. The trailer gives you the feeling, but there's a lot of up and down with the way these characters deal with their clients. And I think that's what really makes it interesting. And another interesting point is that this movie, like, this is not something that's impossible. Like, there are companies like this, you know what I mean? So I think it's pretty interesting. Like, you just don't know who's doing this, who's paying for their family or someone to be their girlfriend or their husband for a day. Like, it's very interesting that there's stuff like this in the world. But like I said, I'm saying how interesting it is. But I already said in the beginning of the review that if you think about why people do things and you're like so like befuddled, like, oh my God, why are you doing this? The answer is very simple. It's about experiences. Everyone wants an experience. And if you can give someone an experience, then they'll pay for it. And that's just the truth. So I think that's pretty much it. But if I did have to look at this film as far as like a star rating, like out of 5, I give this a 4 out of 5. I really did enjoy this movie. And the story was great. Also, I believe it was shot in Japan. Yeah, it was shot in Japan and Tokyo. I know Tokyo's in Japan, I believe, but I know that Japan is in Tokyo. Tokyo is in Japan. What I'm saying is, there's a point in this movie where you get to see more of Japan than Tokyo. And I like that. I like that part. I like that they're actually able to take you to different places and you really feel the breath of it. You feel the weight of this film at certain points when you need to. You feel when they want you to get close in on a character, and when they want you to feel that emotion, you feel it, and they hold the camera on it. And then when they want you to feel like the traveling, or they want you to feel like the weight of a certain moment, they know when to bring the camera back and let you see where you're at and these beautiful locations and different things like that. And it's interesting. There's this story with this old man, and it's like, I don't want to spoil anything. I'm just saying there's a story with an old man, and let's just say he wants to remember something, you know, and sometimes there's things you do in life for someone, and you know that, like, maybe like sometimes you wish the family would do something for them, but sometimes the family is so close to someone when they really want something. Maybe they got a job, they got different things going on, and like they're listening, but they're not really truly understanding that it's still a human being. It doesn't matter if they're old or 99 or 2 years old. When a person wants something, and I feel like sometimes people get older and then people look at old people and they're like, so I don't know, I just feel like sometimes people look at old people and they think like, they don't think like the same way they think. Yeah, they might be older, but they still have that same, this soul in there. There's something that they want to do. And sometimes someone's old and they may be a little, maybe they're a little senile or something, but when they have their thoughts or their wits about them and they want something, you got to listen sometimes. You got to try to listen when you feel like they're really sincere about what they actually want, because there's a character in this film who he wants something, and it's like, you know, I think his daughter wasn't trying to give him the experience that he was trying to get, and now the stranger comes into his life, and it's like, oh, he's a stranger, but he's looking through new eyes. He's fresh. He's removed from it enough to be like, okay, I just see the wants, and I see the human. I don't just see the old man or my dad or my grandpa. You just see a human who wants something, and you see them towards the end of their life, and you know you could try to help them with that. And you're gonna try your best. And I think when that moment hit, it was beautiful, and I do think that this film will resonate with a lot of people. I just like that this movie shows a different side of life that I didn't really know too much that existed. It's interesting because we saw which movie was it? All right, so there's the Matchmaker movie. What was that called again? Materialist. The Materialist. So like there's matchmakers, and then there's also like people who like pay for these people to be their family. So there's so many different experiences in life. And just because you don't know about something, I like the peek into the unknown. I really do. And like I said, I didn't know anything about this. I'm sure if someone told me, I would have been like, oh, maybe that sounds like something people would do. But the fact that there's businesses run that do this is just kind of insane. But like I said, it's not insane. It's about an experience. If you could provide an experience, someone will pay for it. And that's the truth. So ultimately, I think I had a great time. I would definitely probably see it again. And like I said, the girl who plays the daughter, she makes you want to cry, man. She makes you want to cry. So and Brendan Fraser is a great actor as well. He's amazing. I love this. I hope I don't know. They're probably not gonna make another Mummy, but I just love him, and I just like seeing him in movies again. So I just love his relationship with his little girl and acting as her dad, and it's just like, I think this movie deals with subject matter as far as, you know, being there for someone and maybe not being a maternal person, but also just caring for someone. Sometimes you can just care for someone and you feel like you're family, but you're not family. But sometimes the people who are not your family are actually closer to you than your actual blood relative, and you create a certain bond with them. And there's a lot to be said for that. But ultimately, I did enjoy this film. If you liked it or if it touched you in a certain way, let me know. And if you have any favorite characters from the families or the people who were using the rental family services, let me know what was your favorite part or anything like that. But it's DeJour. Know the name, spread love and light, take care, and let's keep the movies alive. Go see this movie if you like, and peace out.